they're cheering and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your TS Mets of New York, Tom, of New York, Tom.
Head for the park and greet the Mets. Hot dogs, green grass, all out of shade. Guaranteed to have a heck of a day because those Mets are really rocking that ball, hitting those home runs over the wall. In Jersey, Brooklyn, Queens, uptown and down. Let's go Mets! That's the cheer all over New York town. Meet the Mets. Head for the park and greet the Mets. Hot dogs, green grass, all out of shade. Guaranteed to have a heck of a day because those Mets are really rocking the ball, hitting those home runs over the wall.
All right, enough of that. Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one. The People's Champion. I don't feel like a champion tonight. That's for damn sure. Your host, the Hut. Oh my God, this was, oh boy, I'll tell you. This is about as bad as it gets. I mean, they get swept. I mean, there's the Dodgers, but the Dodgers have not played well, and this team is done. Toast. This group is done. Let me say hello to the chat. This new emoji, I tell you, that YouTube has put up. These things are hysterically funny. Let's get everybody to do this sort of sad face. I mean, this is about as accurate as it gets. But I want to say hello to Ness SL, Gerald Montanga, Hostel Civitas, Richard Zucker, hello. Please, of course, like this video. Please like the video. When we talk about some rough stuff here tonight. And it's not me. It's not me. It's this team. It's not me, it's the team, okay? So this has been going on now for 5 years now. With this particular group in particular, Nimmo, McNeil, Alonso, Lindor, Diaz. And quite frankly, it's time to get them all the hell out of here. It's time to move on. The problem is you do that, you start breaking this team up, and then it affects next year. Then you have to go overboard even more so than you would. What's this? According to PitchCon, they were ripped off. Should have been a walk-off. I don't know about that. I don't worry about that. That stuff happens on the field. But anyway, this group is a mess. And the problem is, this has been such a mess, it's going to affect next year. And Steve Cohen he doesn't seem like a guy that deals with failure. We saw what happened when the Mets didn't sign Steven Matz. They turned and pivoted and signed Max Scherzer. Now, this is a very good, in the offseason, is going to be a very good, free agent market, led by Juan Soto, Corbin Burns, Max Fried. And this group, how do you build a winning team next year? Well, one of the things you hope comes back, and that's Francisco Alvarez. I saw this number. The Mets are 11-8 before he got hurt. So now they are 10 games under 500. Okay? They're 22-32. So since Lindor got hurt, Alvarez got hurt, they're 11-24. Now, you cannot, and that's a 314 winning percentage. How do you rely on a young player like him? What does that say about this veteran team? Well, Richard Zucker has this right on the money. Uh, there is no heart on this team, and you're absolutely right, Richard. That's part of it. Also, there's not enough talent. They're not talented enough. This group, a lot of times, having no heart can be replaced by talent. Um, they did a lot of good things over the last few years individually. Pete Alonso had a lot of home runs. Lindor had 30-30. But aside from 2022, where they won one postseason game against the Padres, this group has done absolutely, positively nothing. They had 3 hits in the second game. Now, the thing is that I've been saying when the Mets pitch well, what have I been saying? When the Mets pitch well, they don't hit. When the Mets hit, they don't pitch. When they look like they're going to win the game, the bullpen blows the game or they get a bad defensive play. That's exactly what happened in the first game. When the 8th inning came and Lindor couldn't turn a double play, it's pathetic. He's a loser. Get him out of here. He is a losing player. He's a loser. Get him out of here. Brett Beatty. Why is Brett Beatty still on this team? He can't hit. And even though he's played well defensively, he botched a ball that was so bad. You can't make that shit up. How bad that play was in the 8th inning. Picks the ball up and throws it, and it comes right out of his hand. I mean, pathetic. I mean, this is pathetic to see this. And really, this sort of lack of defense, lack of pitching, lack of hitting, it's enough. I've had enough of it. I know you've had enough of it. I was trying to give this group another chance, one more chance. But now it's time. It's time to hit the Phantom Zone button. It's time to hit the trapdoor button and get him the hell out of here. Now I know David Stearns today had said that the Mets were not quite ready to pull the escape hatch yet. That they're still evaluating this group. That's fine. That's his job to do the right thing. You want to see great, heart and talent. Right now, the Rangers just tied the game down in Florida against the Panthers. They're trying to get to the Stanley Cup Finals, but they're playing at a high level. But what you have here with the Mets is a very interesting thing, in that this club is a mess. All the players that have been inherited by David Stearns, all the stars are failures. Every single one of them, from Lindor to McNeil to Alonso to Diaz. Nimmo's hard hit rate is weird because he's hitting the ball hard, but his average is low. He's been striking out quite a bit lately, which is a little weird for him. Maybe he's batting third. He's got a different kind of mentality than he's had in the past when he's been batting leadoff. That might be an issue there. I have no issue with him batting in the middle of the lineup. I think we're getting to the point where he's probably not going to be a leadoff hitter much longer. But, the whole thing with the Mets is that, and people have been writing all kinds of crazy stuff today to me, and really the last couple of days. One of the things that people constantly, the 2 players that people write about most on my channel, folks, you would be shocked. And they always bring them up, and they bring them up constantly. It's almost like this post-traumatic stress. One, Bobby Bonilla, the infamous Bobby Bonilla, and Dave Kingman. Some guy was complaining about Bobby Bo today, saying that, the Met fans should boo Lindor like they used to boo Bobby Bonilla. I don't know if he was a Bobby Bo defender, but he kept saying it. It's crazy, And it's annoying, quite frankly. But anyway, And people were saying, well, you can't trade Francisco Lindor because nobody wants him. Met fans don't want him. That doesn't mean that some team might not find value in him. Some team might say to themselves, well, if the Mets were to pick up the money, I'm just using an example. If the Mets pick up the money and we put him in our culture, say it's the Dodgers or the Giants, he's not going to feel the kind of pressure that he gets with the Mets. Like he won't be the number one guy. And with the Giants, he would be. But with the Giants, the different mentality. The fans are a little bit more softer there. Let me just get to the checks. I'm sort of falling behind in my saying hello to people. I don't like to sort of forget about the chat. Hello, Bruce Bond. Hello, Thor. Hello, Daniel Capskian. Hello, Stony814. Hiya Hud. I'm a diehard Mets fan. Let me read you what he has to say. And of course, please like this video and hit the subscribe button. You want to participate in the chat. Hiya Hud. I'm a diehard Mets fan. I just watched my final game till they start doing better. Might not be for a long time. I'm so hurt like others as Mets fans. Well, keep watching. There's nothing wrong with watching. But you got to know when to pull the escape hatch. You know, the first game was a disaster because that game, they had that game in hand. And to see the defense completely collapse in that eighth inning. You know, to see that defense come and we saw Tyler McGill pitch well, and that's a pretty good lineup, especially the top of that lineup. Again, I'll mention this thing with the top of they need a shortstop badly. Okay, the Dodgers. A perfect player that the Dodgers should have signed in the offseason with Brandon Crawford. You could have put him there. He's a professional guy. But anyway, that's a very strange lineup because it's so top heavy. But Tyler McGill pitched really well tonight. I mean, to be able to go through 3 times through the lineup and pitch 7 innings, that's a good start for him, considering where he's been. But to see the defense completely collapse, and then to see the 9th inning, it's one thing that the Dodgers tied the game up. It's another thing when the Mets had the bases loaded, 1 out, and Tyrone Taylor is. I didn't think at any point that he was going to get a hit in that at bat in the 9th inning. I don't know what you thought, but I really thought that he was not going to get a hit. He had a 3-0 count, strike 1. 3-1 count, took the ball right down the middle, 3-2, and then he made it out. It was pathetic. And to see that kind of a bat in that situation is tough. And Jeff McNeil's at-bats have been pathetic. Pathetic. He's hitting 209, folks, in May. 209. This is a guy that's won a batting title. Where has he been the last year and a half? Can somebody explain that to me? And I don't care what they say about the shift. They were saying that right after the game before I came on. They were talking about the shift. The shift has nothing to do with, has absolutely, positively nothing to do with his approach at the plate and his ability to put the ball in play. And then the sort of the approach to these at bats over the last few days has been really pathetic. I mean, we saw the thing on Saturday with Lindor taking a pitch right down the middle, not even getting in a stance, just sort of standing there taking it. I've never seen that from a player that late in the game, or even in a game, to do that. And on a 3rd strike, it's scary. But this group has to be broken apart. It has to be taken apart. Enough is enough. They cannot give this team another chance. This whole entire group has to go. If anyone stays, it'll be Nimmo. That'll be it. But even then, I could be swayed on. Pete Alonso, love the guy. He's done great things here with the home runs and the RBIs. But I think the Mets are gonna have to move him. I don't know what you're gonna get in value of him. You're not gonna get the kind of value you think you're gonna get, but you got to move him. Like I've said in other videos, if you were to trade him, possibly you move him in a 1-for-1 deal. That's where you can get more value. I saw this thing tonight, folks. The Cubs were pitching a no-hitter. Ben Brown was pitching a no-hitter for the Cubs. Now I bring him up, because he was with the Phillies. And He was in the Phillies farm system, and he was traded for David Robertson back in 2022. That's why the Mets didn't get him in 2022, is because they traded Ben Brown, and Ben Brown has turned out to be a very good pitcher. So that's the kind of deal you'd have to look for Pete, is you get the best prospect you could possibly get on a one-on-one deal from some team. Either it be the Cubs, the Mariners. I'm sure there's other teams. I did that video. I forget the other teams that I mentioned. The Astros, although they brought up Jose Abreu. Now, Pete has been a good Met. He loves being here, but it hasn't worked out. The team has not won. Other than the 1 year, the team is and of course 2019, they got off to a horrible start in 2019, and of course they did not have Diaz pitching well. He is a guy that really he could probably benefit from a change of scenery, being a big and a smaller ballpark. I don't. People keep comparing him to Dave Kingman. He's no Dave Kingman. He's better than Dave Kingman. But I'm going to feel bad when he gets moved, but he has to get moved. Jeff McNeil has to get out of here just based on his attitude. Hopefully they can get his value up. He has money on the contract. And that's the one thing that with him is going to be an interesting thing, how they move him. Brandon Nimmo. He's got, 6 more years on his contract. He has a lot of value because he's a good guy in the clubhouse. He's got a great reputation in baseball. He's an interesting case, but he would be the last guy I'd want to move. Edwin Diaz. Aside from the 1 year with the Mets in 2022, Edwin has not pitched well for the Mets. Let's all be honest. Let's be honest. Aside from 2022, he's not pitched well at all. Hold on, I need a drink. Look. He has not pitched well at all. The Mets have to get his value up, and they're going to have to look to move him. He's a guy that right now he's throwing 96. I think in a year or so, he'll probably be throwing a lot harder. You would think he would have better command in his pitches, but the Mets have to look to move him. Aside from, like I said, 2 years ago, it hasn't worked. Francisco Lindor. I was so totally against this trade at the time because I was concerned that this particular player, I knew his reputation, that he was a guy that was sort of a happy-go-lucky guy. You have to play with a certain edge here. You have to play with a certain edge to play here. He does not have that edge at any point. He is too soft for this town. He's too soft for this fan base. He is a guy that, quite frankly, just personality-wise, it has not worked. And I thought the biggest mistake that Cohen has made was he signed Lindor too quickly. They should have let him have a chance to play here. He was a player that I felt, in spite of the numbers, it just wasn't going to work out here. And the first year was a disaster with the thumbs down. See, it's basically an FU to us. So it's a middle finger to us. It was his thumb, but really he wanted to give the finger to us. And it's because of that, he does not respect our critiques of him. He does not. I don't know what he wants. I don't know what he expects. I'm trying to figure out this player. And then to see how he was acting in Cleveland last week, where he's taking bows on a reverse call on a bang-bang play in Cleveland. I thought it was one of the strangest things I've seen on the field in a long time. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know what the guy is thinking half the time. Now, he said all the right things after the Mets traded Scherzer and Verlander and Canna and Pham. but and he produced after the Mets made these deals. But prior to that, when they needed him in June last year, he was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere to be found really in September of 2022. And he was nowhere when they played the Braves. He wasn't there. Jeff McNeil wasn't there. Pete Alonso wasn't there against the Braves in 2022 in that October series in Atlanta. And we know that they weren't there in that last series against the Padres, except for that one game. In the last game, they only had one hit in that final game against that slime ball Musgrove. And I call him a slime ball because his ears were all like greasy and it was greasy all over the place. NYG31 says Lindor is not a good guy. Well, we don't know that one way or the other. He seems like a good father. He seems like a good husband. But he is a guy that is not a great teammate. He promised Jeff McNeil a car. Any average person, and I'm an average person, I can get a car within a week. Because then you got to do the credit reports, you got to figure out the down payments, negotiation. It takes about a week. And you trade your car in. And it took him over a year. It took him over a year to get Jeff McNeil a car. So that says a lot. And I wonder if people hadn't shamed him, would he have done that? I don't know. I don't think he would have. I think he would have hoped that people would have forgotten about it. Anthony Guido says, my family and I broke down the numbers. We think Lindor makes $60K in a bat. All this money for a bum. I mean, really? Anthony, come back to me, bro. You getting your family to sit down and do the numbers? What are you, bunch of accountants? Okay, let's figure this out. Okay, he's got this much money coming to him. Let's figure out the money. $60,000 in his bat. Can you imagine that? Anthony's family sitting at home tonight. Anthony's like, all right, okay, what you got, your kids doing this? Anthony, let me put this on you. Anthony, did you get your kids to do this? Or your parents? Typing it in. Hey, Anthony, you got a Rangers logo, Rangers avatar on your thing. What the hell are you watching my video? What are you watching my channel? Watch the Rangers game. Watch the Rangers game, man. Guerrero says, I don't understand Diaz losing confidence, and now he's terrible. What's the deal? I don't know, man. I also mentioned this. I'm not a big fan of Jeremy Hefner. I think we've seen now since 2020, the Mets pitching staff has been a disaster. They're constantly walking batters. They're constantly falling behind. It's a mess. He's a mess as a pitching coach. Soyo to Amigo. Maybe Lindor needs to offer McNeil another card of one of the patty title. How about just, how about Lindor should just offer him a car if he hits 250. How about that? But Jeremy Hefner, I am shocked that he's still here. His reputation is not what the reality is. I was very surprised. I was very surprised that Stearns kept him. I hope that they get rid of him. I am not a fan of his. I do not see any pitcher getting better with him as the pitching coach. Anthony says this: my parents and Let's Go range between. I am only 12, so I don't know. All right, Anthony. Okay, never mind, Anthony. What are you doing up so late, man? Go to bed, kid. Go to bed, or at least watch the Range game. Be watching me. Stony814 says, Hut, would you want the Mets? Would you want Juan Soto to come to the Mets? Really, Stony? I think everybody wants him to be with the Mets. The Mets are going to spend so much money. They're going to offer him one of the biggest contracts this side of Shohei Ohtani this offseason. that he's going to get one of the biggest contracts. He will probably get close to $500 to $600 million. Hold on, I need a drink. Look. The Mets will offer him $600 million to play for them. He's 26 years old. Stearns has a reputation of signing free agents young because he signed Christian Yelich to a big contract. And they will offer him a lot of money. Probably 15 years, $600 million. I could see that. If not more money. That is certain. Soyo to Omingo at NYG30. Or maybe Diaz needs some therapy to get his confidence back. Come on, get on that. I could give him some therapy. Stop pitching better. What the fuck, man? Stop pitching better. Throw your damn fastball. Jesus. Joseph Donzel says they will have the worst record in baseball if they keep on this track, and then what? Well, then you got a chance to get the number one pick. Right now, the Mets are on pace to lose 96 games. They've won 22 games in the first third of this season. So right now, the Mets are not a good team. But let's not pussyfoot around this. They're 10 games under 500. Over 15 games behind. I don't know what the exact number is, but they are coming into today. They were 14 and a half games behind the Phillies. Richard Zucker says you got to wonder if Diaz is afraid to plant his foot. Well, it's an interesting thing. If he is, that's not good. Sony 14 says Hefner was a better pitcher for the Mets than being a pitching coach. I wouldn't go that far. He was pretty bad as a pitcher. But that doesn't mean anything if you're not a good pitcher and you're a pitching coach. That's a bit of a mixed bag. I would mention this: Mel Stottlemyre with the Mets. He was a great pitching coach. He was a great pitcher for the Yankees. He missed the great Yankee dynasties. NYG31 says no. The Mets are on pace to lose 100. No, NYG31. The Mets have lost 22 games. Over the course of the season, that'll be 66 games over 162 games. There'll be 66 and 96. So right now, they would be on pace for 96 wins. 96 losses. Now, please, of course, like this video and hit the subscribe button. Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to get a lot of videos from me about complaining, trades. I'll have a video tomorrow on a rumor I found on Sean Manaea. We're going to see so many rumors about these veteran players that Stearns signed. Manaea, Severino, Quintana. Quintana pitched well enough to lose tonight. That's the one thing about Quintana. Quintana pitches well to the team he's on. So, for instance, and he'll get the loss. He's now 1-5. That tells you what kind of pitcher Quintana is. Quintana will pitch well. He does the same things for every team. But whether his team wins will be dependent on that team. It's less to do with him than it does with his team. Soyo to Amigo. But does So even want to come to the Mets? Maybe the Dodgers or stay with the Yankees? Well, the Dodgers are out of it. He will not be. I don't see him going to the Dodgers. Not after they signed Ohtani. Stony 14 says, would you want Corbin Burns? Absolutely. But it depends on the money, depends on the years. I think he had an injury last year, didn't he? So you got to be a little careful. And with him being a veteran pitcher. I'm not having a difficult time giving you content here. I could find things to talk about. I'll give you an example and be funny about it. I'll give you an example. Doesn't Jeff McNeil look like a rat? Doesn't he look like a rodent? You don't get this anywhere else. And he's playing like a rat. Is it a raccoon? Or is it a possum? No, it's a rat. Crappy rat. Richard Zucker says the Mets are blowing opportunity with other teams struggling like they are. I don't know what that means, Richard. The biggest opportunity the Mets are blowing is what they're going to try to do for next year. this will make this team make it very difficult for them to build next year. Because then you're going to have some of these players on this team next year that have not performed. So that's the problem. And I would also say this. After next year, Francisco Lindor will be a 10-5 guy. And do we want to have him not only have the sort of the no trade clause, but also have this have him be a 5-10 guy? I don't want that either. Now, please, of course, hit the subscribe button. There are some good things within the Mets organization. The Met pitching in the minor leagues has been really good. Christian Scott is a bright spot. He should have won his last start. The Mets blew it. Brandon Sprout is flying to the Mets farm system. He's currently in Double-A. I think that he'll be in Triple-A to finish out the season. The Mets are kind of rushing some of these players. Blade Tidwell is now in Triple-A. He's pitched really well. I thought the Mets would play. The Mets played better in April than I thought they would, and they played terribly in May. They're now 7-18, folks. 7-18, and we still have 3 games to go. And NYG31 says, why we don't build around McGill, Peterson, and Christian Scott? McGill and David Peterson are unreliable, okay, in my opinion. Christian Scott's a different story. He misses bats. That guy is sneaky fast with his fastball. He reminds me of a right-handed version of Sid Fernandez. How sneaky he is with that fastball. That ball jumps on you. McGill and Peterson are just not reliable. They're always hurt. They need to get the hell away from Jeremy Hefner. He has not improved these guys at all. Because either they pitch well or they don't pitch well and then they get hurt. You cannot rely on them in this rotation. I don't trust Jeremy Hefner with these guys. And like I said, those 2 guys in particular have not shown the ability to be consistent. They haven't shown the ability to stay healthy and be durable. Very important. Richard Zucker says it's the Alvarez swoon. Yeah, they were 11-8 when he was here, and then 11 and 30 something, 20 something. It's really bad. No, they played terribly. I had said that was a 6-week injury, and it looks like it's going to be a 6-week injury. They were making such a big deal out of it, saying that it was going to be an 8-week injury. I said it was going to be a 6-week injury. We're now entering the 5th week that he's had this injury, and he's getting to do rehab on Thursday. So that is a good sign that he's going to be doing rehab on Thursday. So that's exciting that he'll be coming back soon, because the Mets really need him back. But it's interesting to say that a guy that has not played much in the major leagues, just a year, is that important to this team. And they said this during the broadcast, that Met dugout in that second game was very quiet, other than Alvarez in that dugout, because that group is a disaster. That group has to go. This team needs to be built around Alvarez and some of the young guys they have in their system, and to bring in some free agents in here. I saw an article about first basemen. The first base free agents and some of these first basemen that could be out there are not great. The free agents after this year. Stoney says we should have Doc Gooden as our pitching coach. Why? Doc's not going to be pitching coach. Stoney. You can agree all you want. Anthony, go to bed, Anthony. Or watch the Rangers game. Go to bed. But yeah, Doc Gooden's that's not happening. There's plenty of people that could be a good pitching coach other than Jeremy Hefner. Jeremy Hefner's a mess. He doesn't get these guys to keep the ball in the ballpark, and he doesn't keep these guys from walking 50 million batters. But let me just run down the Met bullpen a little bit and really in the first game. Reed Garrett, the bloom was off that rose. He gave up a run, even though there was that error. There's an unearned run in that inning by Beatty, and really Lindor didn't turn it. The bloom was off that rose. I would get the hell away from him very quickly, folks. Diekman is a disaster. He's constantly walking batters. I know he came in relief to help him out. Adam Ottavino, he's pitched terribly over the last 10 games. He's been terrible. And Jorge Lopez came in the first pitch, man. Gave that, I guess, that hit to Freddie Freeman. He's crushed that. I mean, it was a single. And then he gave a hit to Freddie Freeman. Boy, I don't trust him. That's a guy the Mets could move because he's pitched really well. Gerald Montaga says, Garrett regrets to me. Well, he'd been a guy that had thrown, had a year 7.84. And that was and he pitched plenty of games in the majors. So we kind of knew where it was all going. Hakeem the Dream says this: Nimmo, Lindor, Alonso, Ottavino, Diaz all must be traded. There's going to be more than just them being traded, folks. Okay, I think you could probably see a fire sale we've not seen in a long time, probably even bigger than last year. Over now and really into the offseason. This team could be very different. I thought they were going to be a different team anyway. Next year anyway. Jeremy Berman says Lindor and Diaz are close to untradeable. You can trade them. If you can get Diaz to pitch well again, some teams will want him. They'll just have to eat some of that money with his contract. Just looking down these players, I can just run down through them. Alonso's probably going to get moved. McNeil could get moved. Lindor could get moved. And I'm not just talking about this season, but in the offseason too. Brandon Nimmo could be moved. Harrison Bader's probably going to get moved before the trade deadline. He's actually a very interesting player because he gets big hits. He can be a bit of a struggle offensively. He's a good defensive player. And he gets big hits. Well, isn't this interesting? TFX21 says this about Lindor. I saw Lindor laughing, smiling, goofing around again tonight. He's a weirdo. Okay, he has to go. I've said this for a long time. I've said this for a long time. Now, and I'm going to beat that drum on the baseball hut too now and talk about it very openly here. He has to go. Starlin Marte. He could be moved. You just have to eat some of the money. Stony 814, I agree. I think JD Martinez will be traded. It's not a lot of money. Hakeem the Dream says Lindor's too goofy to play in New York City. He's just too goofy, period. Between the hair and the sort of the smirk and the smiling and the bowing and the thumbs down, get the F out. GDFO. Take a hike. You talking about thumbs? Take a hike. That's really what he needs to do. He needs to take a hike. That's what he needs to do. But just a couple other things. DJ Stewart, this is a guy who's been a 200 hitter and he's hitting 200. Tyrone Taylor, he's fine for what he is. Omar Narvaez has to go. They have to get rid of him. Eat the money, get him out of here. I would hope that the Mets do the right thing. Nito's been fine for what he is, but Narvaez can't be here. I mean, Narvaez got his first hit on Sunday on that walk-off. The Mets have played like a third of the season at home, and he's got one hit. It's pathetic. Mark Vientos needs to play every day, quite frankly. And Brett Beatty cannot be in the major leagues. He has to go back to the minors. He's not a major league player. He's just not a very good hitter. Luis Severino, he's probably going to get moved, no doubt. Jose Quintana is going to get moved. Sean Manaea is going to get moved. Adrian Hauser could get moved. Gerald Montaga says, bring up Parada. No, he's not ready yet. He's just starting to hit down the minor leagues. You cannot bring him up, and he's not a good defensive catcher. You want like 90 million guys stealing bases? That's what you'll get with him. He might not be a catcher long term. Edwin Diaz, the Mets got to right the ship and get him out of here. Jorge Lopez, you can move him. Ottavino, you can move him. Jake Diekman, you can move him. He's a lefty. And don't worry, folks. Drew Smith is coming back. He's on rehab assignment, and when he comes back, he'll be throwing that slider for big home runs to the opponent. Hakeem the Dream says this again. Jeff McNeil's the heart and soul of the team, and they ruined his career by taking him out off the leader position. Huh? Okay, that's weird. That's weird. Randy Fernandez, Nimmo ain't going nowhere, just signed a long-term contract. I'm not saying I don't want him getting moved. Okay. I don't think he's getting moved. I'm just saying, that he could be moved. NYG said 31 says Hauser is a disaster. Agreed. Gerald Montaga says Orphus. I don't know what that means. I mean, really, we're going to see a lot of interesting names being bandied about before we get to the trade deadline. And we're only on May 28th. It's only May 28th, folks. Joseph Daza says the whole team needs a swift kick in the ass. They need more than just that, Joseph. What this team needs is they need to sort of get broken up. Don't worry, folks. Let me read you a little news from the Mets clubhouse. From Tim Healy. X-rays were negative on Francisco Lindor's left index finger after he heard it trying to bunt in the first game of today's doubleheader. Thank God. Thank God. I'm so happy. I would mention that Luis Angel Acuna, you talk about players that could get brought up. He is starting to hit finally, and he's starting to hit for power. He had a home run tonight for the Syracuse team, so he's starting to pick it up. So maybe another week of that down there, and the Mets could call him up. That might be the move the Mets make to straighten out this whole situation with third base, because you can't have these two third basemen here. One of them has to go, and the most likely one is Beatty. And if Beatty's here, you can have Acuna. You could be the backup shortstop. You could play him at second. You can move McNeil around a little bit. I think one of the things, and I just sort of thought about it, I think McNeil getting moved around is actually good for him. I think when you keep McNeil at one position at second base, I think he kind of stagnates a little bit. He might be one of these players that needs to move around a little bit. You play him in right field a little bit, play him left field a little bit. Call up Acuna, you play him every day. You can bat him leadoff. I don't want Lindor batting leadoff. I really don't want Lindor batting even third. I need to give him less at bats. Bat him sixth, bat him seventh. Okay? The way he swings the bat now, he's not a top of the order guy, quite frankly. In my humble opinion. And as you know, I'm very humble here. It's very difficult going through this team and ripping these guys apart. And I'm just getting warmed up. Anthony says, is Gilbert still hurt? Yes. As far as I know, he's on the mend. He's coming back. Jet Williams, the Mets' best prospect, had to get a second cortisone shot. And in all likelihood, he might have to get surgery for that wrist. I don't know. So we'll see. I really don't want to see him have to go for surgery. Because who knows, he might miss a good portion of the season, if not all the season, with surgery at this point. Then that was one of the things that was discussed during the press conference before the game, was this thing going on in the minor leagues with him in particular. Now, who pitches tomorrow for the Mets? David Peterson? We'll see how he pitches. I will not be on tomorrow in the afternoon after the game. I'll be out. I will have a video for you in the morning on Sherman Naya. The Red Sox seem to be a team that is being rumored about. This is very early with the rumors, so you'll have to keep an eye on that. So there's going to be plenty of rumors on this channel. You'll have little videos for you. We'll have shorts for you. This channel's been very busy over the last few days, and I thank you for watching all the new subscribers coming in. Thank you for subscribing. We'll see about. Well, we'll see about. What's today? What's today? Today's Wednesday, right? Then you play the Diamondbacks this weekend. So tomorrow they play a 4 o'clock game against the Dodgers. This weekend they play the Diamondbacks. I probably will be on again live after the game on Saturday. For more than just the game, but of course Darryl Strawberry's getting 100 on Saturday. About time. That's a wonderful thing about Darryl. He's getting his number retired. It's great that he's turned his life around. And then he's really serving God and serving people like he is. And it's going to be great to watch him get that number retired. That's been one of the things that I've been sort of hammering for the last 3 years on this channel. To see all these numbers get retired and all these players get honored. Today's Tuesday. Oh, yeah, I'm screwed up. My days were all screwed up. Yeah, today's Tuesday. And so the Mets are playing a 4-game series against the Diamondbacks. Thank you, Stoney. I work a lot. So I forget what the days are off when I'm off. It's crazy. Yeah, so I'll be maybe I'll be back Thursday, now that I think about it. So I might be back on Thursday night after the game. And, of course, I'll be back on Saturday night after the game because that game should be over about 7 o'clock, 7:30. And we'll come on right after that game. And we'll talk about Darryl. We'll talk about those old teams. And of course, we'll talk about the debacle. That game will be against the Diamondbacks. The Dodgers have not played well. And the Mets basically, they gave them the first game. The Mets were completely flat as a pancake in that second game. You could tell that they were deflated after that first game. That's why this group cannot stay. Okay, we saw this last year when they traded Verlander and Scherzer in that game, in that series against the Royals. They were completely shot, completely walking around with their heads down. I mean, we should put that emoji in the chat. It's sort of the emoji of sort of the heads down, depressed. And you saw that tonight with Pete, to be honest with you. Let me put the emoji in the chat so you find it. It's not a regular emoji. It's a YouTube emoji that they put in here. It's great. I love it. I've seen it on other channels. Let me find it. This is how it is watching the Met games. This is the Mets, how the Mets make me feel, folks. This is how the Mets make me feel when I watch these games. And I know this is how it makes you all feel. You can find this on your phone. Like to fill the whole chat with that. That would be great. But that's how the Mets make me feel. And that's how the people in the stands looked, too, by the way. You'll find this, if you go into the chat, it's right next to it. That's the emoji. There we go. Also has some mad faces, too. But that's how we do it. Stoney814 says, Vientos seemed depressed tonight. Wouldn't you, Stoney? I was. It's very dejecting. We knew this team was going to be a problem. Okay? We knew this team. I love these emojis. These are great YouTube emojis, boy. We knew this was going to be a rough season. But this group has dragged it down even further into the gutter than we thought was possible. So if that's the case, then there shouldn't be any reason to hold on to any of these guys. Bye-bye. So long. Farewell. Hold on. I need a drink. Look. Yeah, these are great emojis. Randy Fernandez says, besides Alonso and Soto available, what other hitters are available via free agency this offseason? You know what, Randy? I have to sit down and look at it. I don't remember. I don't remember. So I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm sure people in the chat know better than I do. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, this is a great emoji. I don't care what anybody says. This is a great emoji. Yeah, keep sending it, folks. This is great for YouTube. Keep sending the sad emoji. This is like the emoji of the Met fan. I mean, really, it's just sad and pathetic. Thank you. This is great. And if you're quiet in the chat, just put that emoji in to show your disgust for the Mets, your sadness for the team. We can make this very entertaining, and I will make this entertaining for us. Making fun of the Mets will not be a problem. Me making fun of these players is not an issue. I will make them regret not winning. Trust me. I will make them regret not winning us. Okay. I may be doing these baseball videos, but my background on YouTube does not come from baseball. My background on YouTube comes from comics, and those people. Look at these chats. It comes from comics, and the comic YouTubers are a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and the people who watch those videos are a little cuckoo too, more than a little. And your host is not afraid to sort of get my hands dirty. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty when it comes to dealing with this club, and I will do that. I did that last year, and I will do that this year for you. Sony 814 says, are you making fun of WFAN? They must be in their glory right now. WFAN must be in their glory right now because they wanted this. They wanted this team to be bad. They wanted this narrative. They wanted it. And now they got to talk about it. I mean, really. I mean, this is like giving like morphine to not morphine, but giving like I don't know what they give these people in the nervous hospital. It's a very strange. WFN. Those guys are very strange, and if they're funny, but they don't mean to be funny. Oh, that's the Spaz. Jeremy Berman says this. Who is that schmuck on WFN saying the one who declared the division over in 2022? Well, it's funny you should ask. It's the Coconut's partner, Spaz Licata, a.k.a. Sal Licata, who right now is going around saying that the Mets are going to sign Juan. So, hey, asshole, shut the hell up. I would also mention that the biggest jinx in New York sports talk, Joe Beningo, after Beningo came back from being retired, nothing has gone right for the Mets. Nothing. Nothing's gone right for the Jets. I noticed, and then he was on a couple weeks ago. I'm very nervous about the Rangers because he's a Ranger. I didn't realize he was a Ranger fan. He was wearing Rangers gear on the air. So, oh my God, he's wearing Rangers gear and he's talking about the Rangers. Oh my God, Rangers are gonna lose. I want to see the Rangers win another Stanley Cup. My goodness, And the Knicks lost right after that. And then the Rangers went through like a bad streak. They were up 3-0 in that last series. I mean, really. Now, and in the meanwhile, of course, please like this video. I had to get some more likes in this video before we end the live stream. See how many likes we got in this video. We got 31 likes. That's pathetic. Just hit that like button, folks. I would say that there's a lot of people here tonight, and I thank you for watching the channel and watching my videos and watching the live stream. This channel is beginning to sort of move in a good direction. I've been doing a lot of different content on here, doing a little shorts, doing these live streams because obviously I'm in a new place. I will do more things, more decorations behind me. I still have to paint the house. The house hasn't been painted yet. I mean, this house really needs a lot of work here. But I would say that this is really, you folks are the reason why I have this house. Because you guys are all watching the videos, sending me super thanks, super chats, buying my products, help me buy this place. And really, it's because of you that you've helped me, and I can't thank you enough. But we're going to paint this place soon. We're going to start soon on the bathroom. The floors had to be replaced. This room is going to get painted. My other room, which will be the other studio, I don't think that will be. It's not. I don't have air conditioning in that room, so I don't think I'll be doing too many videos now in that room just yet. At least live streams. It's going to get awfully hot in there in the summer. But we'll do live streams in there when we get to the winter time. But I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm doing videos outside. I'm thinking about doing a live stream outside of my home at one point. That's something I'm thinking about doing. That would be great. So I'm going to give you all kinds of different things here for you. Now, I would mention there's no more videos with my phone in terms of live streams because where I live, the cell reception is so bad. It's like being out in the middle of the ocean. There's no cell service on my phone. I don't know. It's just in general, the service sucks out here. Stony814 says, Hud, I want to buy something from you. Where do I go to do it? All right. Let me put the link in the chat. It's really on YouTube. Let me find it. I'll put the link in. Let's see. For some reason I can't open the link. I don't know why it's not opening. Let's see. Let me see. But in the meanwhile, please, of course, like this video and hit the subscribe button. Let me find this. Ronnie S says, maybe do a live stream barbecue. That's not a bad idea, man. That's not a bad idea. But then I have to use my phone, I think. Let's see. Let me see if I can find this link. I know I can't open the link. That's weird. Let me see something. Let me try something else. I want to put the link in here. I'll find it. Let's see here. That's an interesting thing, though, Ronnie. I mean, that's not a bad idea to do something like that. That's actually a pretty good idea. Pretty good idea. I should probably do that. I think you would love that, I think. That would be fun, I think. I think that'd be fun for you to watch and fun for me to do it. That'd be different. Why I can't open this link? I'll send you the link on the side there, Stoney. I don't know why that's not opening. Maybe that's why people aren't buying the products. That's probably why people aren't buying it. That's weird. Let me try something else. Because this is kind of annoying. Ronnie S says, are you in Suffolk County? Yes. Yes, I am. Okay, here we go. Finally opened it. Now I'm way out with the deer are. All the way out. It's beautiful out here. Very different than New York City. So let me put the link in to my shop if anyone's interested. Let's see. That didn't work. That's annoying. Almost as far out there. Let's see. I'm going to get you that link, Stoney, because I know that you love this channel. And it is a good way to support the channel. And I've been trying to get people to buy stuff. They love the mugs. They love the cups that I sell. Let's see. No, why it's not opening. I don't know why it's not opening. Normally, I don't have that problem. Let's see. But the Mets are putting us in quite the it's put me in a bind because I've been trying to sort of give you good content, but if they don't win, it makes it very difficult. Makes it very difficult to sort of put on a show because you want to. The one thing I have, oh, damn it, Panthers beat the Rangers. See, that's Beningo right there. That's Beningo right there. NYG said 31 says, "What will it take for the Mets to win a series before we trade older players?" I mean, that's a good question. I'm not a prophet. That's for sure. I'll try this. Let me try something else. Just won't open. I don't know why that doesn't open. Try something else here. Oh, why my shop's not opening? That might be why people aren't buying my products the way they should because the link's not open. Some weird reason. Anyway, I'll get you the link privately, Stony, because this is really annoying. I don't know why this isn't going through. Let me try something else. But, I'm trying to sort of give you the best content for you all. But it's hard when the team is bad, and it doesn't help the channel. It doesn't help the channel when the channel, because I noticed that when the team is bad, nobody watches. So it's tough. It's tough to put on a good show, when the team is bad, and it's tough when in this past off season when the Mets didn't make any big moves. When the Mets didn't make any big moves, it was very difficult to put on the show, and the numbers reflect that. Although I had a great December because we talked a lot about Yamamoto, but last year was tough. It was very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. NYG says, "Have we won a series in May?" No, I don't think they have. They're 7-19 in May, Ronnie. 7-19 in May. You cannot fathom how bad they are. Can't fathom it. Can't believe how bad they are. It's unbelievable. Why won't this open? I don't get it. Never had this problem before. Let's try something else. Makes no sense, So I'm going to end the live stream here because it's getting late, and I'm a little annoyed that I can't get this on. But I want to thank you all for coming by. This was a very good live stream, in spite of the fact that the team played poorly tonight and they lost a doubleheader. I will be back Thursday, I think, late, after the game. And we'll talk about the Mets then. I'll definitely be back on Saturday, God willing, after the game. Because I want to talk about Darryl, and I want to talk about whatever happens from now until then. And Stony 814, even though I say I won't watch them, I'm just frustrated. I'll still watch them even if they have losing record. I'll still come on your streams when you're live, no matter what. Well, I would mention, too, I'm going to have subscribers on here, probably on Sundays. And that'll be something that will be a lot of fun, I think. I hope. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I think that'd be a lot of fun to have people on and talk. I would like to talk to people. I do like talking to people, believe it or not. Let me see if I can get a link here. Let's see. See if I can get this link on here. What the hell is connect the store? Next store. Let's go. Nope. cannot open this link. I don't know why. Yeah, so I will have you on. You folks will be on probably most Sundays, I think. That's what I'm thinking. And we will discuss our favorite team. Just like America, the Mets are losing. Let's see here. Let's see. Want to get that link in the chat. I'm going to get that on here at some point. I would mention that we saw that Angel Hernandez finally retired. Didn't even know he looked at it as a job. I didn't realize that he thought it was a job. I guess he thought it was a job. I didn't think he thought that. You know. It's weird about Spread Shop. You go in here and you can't. Let's see. Try this. Try to bungle this together. Can't believe I can't open this. Well, anyway. I want to thank you all for coming by. We'll be back again tomorrow in a little video about Shaw Mania. There'll be shorts up, I would hope, during the day. And of course, we'll be back in a live stream on Thursday, maybe. Definitely on Saturday if I'm not too tired. And we'll have you on as guests probably on Sunday, depending on what time I get back from work. And, of course, whatever happens after that. Next week, the Mets will be in London. That's exactly what these British people want to deal with. The Mets going there, being a bad team. That's great. That's a great representative for our team. Thanks a lot, guys. Anyway, thank you for coming by. I appreciate the time you take to watch. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.